Doubles Pickleball Strategy 104, How to Achieve Pinpoint Placement Accuracy. In this video, I will show you a tip from the book, How to Play Pickleball, the Complete Guide from A to Z. The book was written by Coach Mo and me, and the book is available from Amazon.com. Folks, this might be one of the most important lessons in pickleball you will ever receive. In this video, I am going to explain to you how to hit the ball so that it will go where you want it to go. These techniques will help you keep the ball in play and place the ball where it causes your opponents trouble. What I have here is a paddle with a pointer that is perpendicular to the paddle face. The pointer points to the approximate direction the ball will travel after making contact with the paddle. Notice how even small movements and small paddle face angle changes create big changes in where the pointer is pointing. Remember, the pointer points to the direction the ball will travel after making contact with the paddle. So, these rather small changes in the paddle face angle can create huge changes in the direction that the ball will travel. Notice that if my swing path is rapidly curving, to achieve a good shot, I have to hit the ball at precisely the exact moment that the pointer is pointing where I want the ball to go. The combination of a moving ball and a rapidly curving swing creates a very difficult situation for achieving success. Essentially, for success, you must have perfect timing so that you hit the ball at the exact instant that the pointer is pointing where you want the ball to go. With such a swing style, getting success shot after shot is impossible. A problem most poor players have is poor paddle face angle control caused by a rapidly curving swing path. About the worst swing style is that of using a fly swatter. Such wrist action in a pickleball swing ensures failure. Here's what you need to do instead. First, you need to aim the paddle face before making contact with the ball. Imagine that your paddle face has a pointer that is perpendicular to the face of the paddle. Before contacting the ball, set the paddle face so that the pointer is in line with the beginning of the desired ball flight trajectory. In other words, the pointer should be in line with the first part of the desired ball flight path. Next, do not use a curving stroke, but instead use a linear stroke that keeps the pointer in line with the desired ball flight path. A key to getting a good linear strike is to use a large radius stroke that comes from the upper body. It is essentially impossible to get consistent accuracy from a small radius swing that comes from the wrist or elbow. Here are some tips for achieving success. First, get to the ball early and bend your knees so that you can create a setup that allows making contact with the ball in your linear swing zone. My linear swing zone is about 18 inches long. If possible, for a forehand shot, I want to point my left shoulder toward my target. For a backhand shot, I want to point my right shoulder toward the target. Being sideways to the ball path like this provides a long linear swing zone. Next, aim the paddle face. Set the paddle face so that it points in line with the beginning of the desired ball flight path. For most shots in pickleball, you do not need a large or looping swing. You should be able to set the paddle face angle well in advance of the forward strike. Next, push through the ball, making a linear path. Some folks call this a blocking stroke. Thinking back to the pointer, keep the imaginary pointer going in a straight line along the start of the ball flight path. Just like tennis coaches say, pretend like you are hitting 4 balls in a row. Eliminate any tendency to flip or snap the wrist. The wrist should essentially be locked through the strike zone. The simple exercise of hitting a ball to a target illustrates that you must use a linear stroke to consistently hit the target. You can't be successful with this using a curving stroke. Although the pickleball stroke is more compact than the tennis stroke, which involves a longer backswing and follow-through than the pickleball stroke, the aiming and linear hitting advice is the same for pickleball as tennis. The United States Tennis Association book, Coaching Tennis Successfully, advises ball direction is controlled by the racket face at impact. The goal is elongating the contact point. Players must push the racket through the entire contact area. The follow-through should extend toward the target. A good tennis stroke does not look like this, nor does it look like this, or even like this. Instead, it comes from upper body rotation, which provides a long radius. When you combine this with forward momentum, as would come from stepping into the shot, you can achieve a racket head path that stays square to the target line through impact. If you watch slow motion tennis strokes of the top players, you will see that the tennis racket face is square to the target line before, during, and after contact with the ball. Let's get back to pickleball. Here we are looking at top professional 5.0 rated players. Notice that the paddle face is aimed before contact is made and that the paddle face moves in a linear path through the contact zone. Again, notice that the paddle face angle changes very little through the contact zone. Now let's talk about some specific shots that can be improved by replacing a curving stroke with a more linear stroke. Many players struggle with the serve. Instead of doing this, remove the wrist action and use a more linear stroke to push the ball along the target flight path. Most players struggle with the third shot drop. Aiming the paddle and then using a linear pushing stroke might help you improve your third shot drop capability. Most recreational players botch their smash shots way too often, going into the net or out of bounds. Again, the problem comes from using a rapidly curving stroke. Try doing this instead. Get behind the ball, aim the paddle face, and push it through the strike zone. By doing this, you will lose some power, but you will be able to keep the ball in play and place it precisely. I hope these tips help improve your game.